reading begins. So we have a kind of powerful influence in your life coming down. This is on the cut, on a ruinous situation. So perhaps you've lost your job, or you've lost something, there's been a loss of some kind, and that's caused the tower to kind of start crumbling, or the structure around in your life to start degrading and crumbling around you. But however, you're protected by this powerful intercession, and it's coming from above, as powerful beings do. So let's start with the Grand Trine. This is a very short game for the weekend. It's a weekly, I'm doing a weekly reading, but I start with a short 48 hours, and then we can expand that a little bit longer. So you have a departure here from a situation that is a death and rebirth situation. A new cycle of development or a new life cycle is starting. The departure is not physical sometimes, it's just a life situation that's ending and a new one that's beginning. You're receiving news about something that you are passionate about. So it could be your work, or it could be a passion project that you've been wanting to do. And this news, I think, is exactly at the right timing, because there's something that's ending in your life and that has been degrading or crumbling, or you've seen the indication that it's time to end whatever activity you've been doing. So here we have money. Lots and lots of money coming in, which is going to bring you a lot of pleasure. But in your wisdom, you're going to receive luck. So your wisdom is going to help you. You know, receiving money always brings pleasure, but being wise around money brings you great luck, is what it says. So this is what is the lesson here. And, don't waste your money. Don't spend it frivolously. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Don't let anyone borrow it. Don't lend it. Don't, pay the things you need to pay, and then be smart about what you do. Invest it wisely. Put it away right away, or else you'll spend it. And we don't want to always spend our money. We want to have some for a rainy day. So in your wisdom, you will be doing that. And the earth signs are usually very, very good with money. Sometimes it can be, but you will have this kind of friendly, there's a friend here, a woman friend, and she will help you, like in great activity. She will help you in terms of talking to you, helping you, teach you, give you insights into what can happen next for you and how you can get there. And you may quite argue a little bit about it, because sometimes information comes in and you rail against it, or you don't want to accept certain information. But there's going to be a lot of work around it, and I think that you will accept it. But this friend only wants your good. So that's an interesting development. We need to be surrounded by our friends and our family, especially towards the end of the year when the energy renews. And here you're protected, completely protected. I also see this card coming out. For some reason, your intelligence protects you, your good luck protects you, your love is protecting you, and your intelligence is protecting you. So you are protected by not only your spiritual committee and the powers around you, but also through your intelligence, your wisdom, your luck, your fate. An ending is not a bad thing. Sometimes we feel it's bad because it takes away, you have to lose something to gain something in a way. And that's what will happen here, is that you will lose something, or you have lost something. That's the card of the past. But, you have also the opportunity to gain an enormous amount of luck, wisdom, happiness, and stability by moving on to the next venture, which you're receiving news about. So perhaps a woman has to do with that, and perhaps that's going to happen very, very soon, or you're already in discussions with this woman, but it's happening now, okay? And it could be your spouse or a family member that has friendly relations with you, but the point is, you're about to see a great shift in your life, a shift that is going to occur now, and it's going to be very, very beneficial for you. So let's move on to the next draw and keep it going. The next draw will be with the Rider-Waite card. And please keep in mind that my interpretation is my own, and I read the cards differently, perhaps, than you do. And I don't think there is a right or wrong way to read the cards. It's intuitive, so my intuition is helping me read the cards. And it's specifically around you and your, when you see this message, it will be meant for you. So I wish you the best in these messages. Again, so here we go. The Wheel of Fortune and the Death's card have jumped out. So this is the beginning of a new cycle, and the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. And the devil here turning the wheel, and the death and rebirth. So both cards indicate this renewal of life, the renewal of losing and gaining, the yin and the yang, the movement of our lives. And to have both of them come out, 10 and 13, at the same time, is obviously a sign from your higher power to pay attention that this is going to perhaps cause a bit of upset at the beginning. Perhaps it's already caused upset because it seems to me that you're already in the flow of these changes. Another card that came out was the Star, right? But it says follow your star, right? So follow your intuition. You will see that only you can choose to see the direction of your life that needs to go. If you put blinkers on and you don't want to see what's happening around you, you may miss the opportunity that is being presented. And that's why the star shines so brightly in the sky when it's calling you to follow it. And hence, that is how the three wise men found the baby that was born on Christmas Eve. And here we go. So here, it shows that you've been going through real difficult moments of your life. You've been tied up, completely restricted. Perhaps you have you have obligations or debts and restrictions around children, restrictions around the ability to move around, or just money restrictions, financial restrictions, and a real lack and poverty mentality that's keeping you kind of locked into this, this nightmare that you seem to be feeling that you're going through. And this nightmare is kind of, on top of that, a fight. You're having a fight around you. There's a lot of conflict. A lot of people perhaps are bothering you. You need to kind of fight for your space, fight for your job, fight for your money, fight for the right to survive, and fight for the right to take care of your kids and family, or whatever that might be. But the indication here is that you're waking up from the nightmare, okay? The indication is that this negativity is in the past. So this is the first draw of three grand trines, grand crosses. And this card, the Nine of Swords, is the end of a nightmare and the beginning of waking up and allowing yourself to feel like, the nightmare is over. We can now move on. And so what do you move on to? Let's see. So you are feeling still like the hung man, specifically around finances, but you're moving on. I mean, look, you're leaving the situation behind, even though you feel that you've built this situation and that you've been working at it for so long. But it looks to me that there is an offer that comes in and that allows you to move forward, or out of your own volition, you decide to move forward. Now, the hung man is a very important major arcana, because it was the god Voltar who was hung upside down and was, in order to have eternal sight, he gave up one of his eyes, and now it's represented as the saint that's being martyred in the Christian world. But anyway, it comes from a pagan background. But the point is that you give up something in order to receive, and you're standing still in order to move forward. And in order to receive this financial abundance, which is about to come down, you need to stop and realize the incredible abundance that is already yours and your birthright, that comes from the ether and that is hanging around your soul, higher self, and waiting for you to download it from your vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say, right? So in order to access it, you need to stop and access it. You cannot access it by moving around, running around and doing something. So this is, so you're leaving the situation behind, you're moving into a new situation, but you're going super strong to try and break through. But the truth is that you do not need to break through by physical action. You need to break through by staying still. And that is how breakthroughs occur. You suddenly download your fortune, and it suddenly arrives, and you don't know what you did, but you've been waiting for it, and suddenly it happens. And I've heard this story before. It happens many, many times to many, many people that I know. And look, the sun shines on you. Your fortune arrives, and the sun shines on you. I mean, really incredible sunshine. However, you need to manage the fortune that you're receiving. So you're going to be actually quite controlling around your money, which is great. I mean, you need to be able to feel in control and feel that you can, that you are stable and that you're receiving it. But there are two very powerful figures here. There's a man and a woman. One is an entrepreneur, and the other one is a very accomplished, perhaps Scorpio or water sign, Cancer, that is in control of the finances. And together, maybe you are a power couple, and this couple is working together in order to manage and control their finances and to be able to move forward and build on their success, because success doesn't come often, and you need to find it. So let's see. Let's draw two cards to see the end. So, it's very important here. So on this bit, it's very important that you stay away from illusions of your mind, and that in your lack mentality, you believe to not have enough, but actually you're looking at the spilled wine or the spilled cups or the spilled milk and not seeing that there are two full cups behind you. That is really what is going on. Your intuition and the hidden, your intuition is more important than your imagination in this point, because your imagination leads to fears, and your fears are playing upon you in your lack mentality. So you need to let that go in order to wake up from the nightmare, because you're creating 90% of your fears, and you're creating 90% of your experience by focusing on lack instead of focusing on abundance, health, wealth, and opportunity. And that is what you actually have. That is what is behind the illusion. Is the actual reality of your life is that you have incredible abundance, you have incredible sunshine. Behind the clouds of doubt is shining the brightest sun. So push away the clouds of doubt, push away the clouds of darkness that are hanging around you, and allow the sunshine in. Allow yourself to see the truth, and allow yourself to see the reality of life, which is that you are 100% abundant, that you have so many opportunities, and that the next thing that is coming will be that you are so abundant, so opportunistic, and have so much coming into you that you will be giving actual alms to poor and solutions to those who need it, right? So you will be working out the problems of others. And this is really important, because you have the ability to end your nightmare. This is the end of a nightmare. Now, of course, you'll be at the very beginning stages of something new, and you will be looking out to see, out to the horizon. But in the end, it may indicate that your lack mentality is following you into the future, right? And you don't want to do that. You want to let it go completely, and become the true king of swords that you are, or the true king or queen. So you definitely will be in charge of a resource of some kind. You're becoming a king, or you're in charge of your own resources, and you will have to be very emotionally detached able to manage without causing yourself anxiety and drama. So this has to end, and it is ending. It seems to me that you are taking a moment to shift your reality into the sunshine, leaving the lack behind and shifting into the sunshine of your life, so that you can appreciate the abundance that is coming to you and that is arriving from this, from the end of this lack mentality or perhaps ruinous situation that you've been in. Now, I don't see, I don't know exactly how you decide to move forward, but there is just a decision, and it's suddenly you get on the horse. It's like you see a horse, it's saddled and it's ready, and you suddenly jump on it and start riding full shod into the sunset and into the horizon, and that's what happens. And it's a decision. So suddenly the mood will change. Suddenly you will have that opportunity, and suddenly you will change and shift your vision from blue to pink, from lack to abundance. And that is, the great blessing of this reading. I wish you a fantastic week, and I hope that this reading has resonated. Please like and subscribe if you like what you hear, and so that it permits me to bring you more readings like this. And I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.